Vuwani protest action threatening to arrest anyone regardless of status and position involved in violence and arson. 24 schools, 3 municipal trucks and 2 houses were torched in the past week. The State Security and Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Ministers met traditional leaders in the Njhaka-njhaka area today. The mood is not one of compromise. Cooperative Governance Minister Des van Rooyen and State Security Minister David Mahlobo visited troubled areas in Vuwani to try and broker lasting peace. A meeting with traditional leaders lasted more than 2 hours. At least 23 people have been arrested for arson and vandalism and will be in court on Monday. Police deployments have been stepped up amid a looming shutdown. Minister Mahlobo says police will start reopening barricaded roads tonight. Now, for more on that meeting, we cross live to our reporter in Vuwani, Njanji Chauke. Njanji, thank you very much for joining us again. Now, what's the latest coming out of that meeting between the ministers and traditional leaders?
Yes, what we know is that those ministers, they have taken a very tough stance, and that stern warning that has been issued against the so-called instigators of these violent protests that we have seen plaguing Vuwani and surrounding areas. The ministers saying that they don't care whether you're a business person, whether you're a politician, if you are involved in these violent acts that have been happening here, you are going to be arrested and brought to justice. We saw those traditional leaders, mainly from the Batsonga Royal House, descending on Hlanganani to come and meet with the 2 ministers, Minister David Mahlobo, as well as the Cooperative Governance Minister, Des van Rooyen. As you know, it's been very tense in the past week. As I speak to you behind me, I can see some of the police nyalas. They've been driving in and out of the police station. One of the instructions to the police is that besides maintaining law and order, is that they must try and remove some of the barricades that have been put up on the road. Most of the major roads here have been sabotaged. Trenches have been dug on roads leading to some of the villages in and around Vuwani, Tabile.
Now, Njanji, you've been on the ground. What are the people there saying?
Tabile, people are living in fear at the moment. Most of the people are not prepared to even go on camera. You speak to a person when they're supposed to go on camera, they're very scared. They're afraid to be victimized, as they told us even yesterday when we spoke to them. As you know, that the 2 communities have been living side by side for many years. Since apartheid, the 2 communities have been living together. Many are surprised why all of a sudden there's been this sudden upsurge in this, what it seems to be attacks on the other community on the basis of tribalism. The 2 ministers arriving here trying to calm the situation down, trying to get the 2 communities to a discussion table. As you know, that the whole thing has been sparked by the so-called incorporation dispute, the demarcation dispute. Well, some other people, observers, also saying that over the years there's been development in one area of this community, and then we have not seen development in the other area, and then hence that when they're saying that the 2 areas should be combined, that one area should fall under the one municipality so that the resources can be equitably distributed. Tabile.
Njanji, let's look at the situation with the schools that were burnt down. Now, we saw the Basic Education Minister, Njhaka-njhaka, who was there on Friday. Any contingency plans to ensure that the children get back to the classroom some way, considering that exams are a few weeks away?
It's a very dire situation here, Tabile. Having gone to some of the villages to have a look at some of these affected schools, you could see that in the first instance, these people were living under disadvantaged conditions. You know, one of the schools, they only have a couple of classrooms. I could see that some of the desks were under the trees, even the chalkboard, meaning it was a very poor school. So the little that they have went up in flames, and then authorities talking about contingency plans such as putting up temporary structures. As you know, that if they have to rebuild those schools, it's going to take many years. And then on a couple of days ago when I arrived here, my first port of call was to go to one of the areas where the community was physically guarding the school. They were actually sleeping at the school, making sure that people who are behind this violence that we have seen here, the burning of schools and the vandalizing of schools, don't even take a chance to come to their school and destroy it. You know, they wanted to lay down their lives in order to protect their school. So it remains to be seen what will be happening tomorrow. But what we know is that the suspects that have been arrested will be appearing in court, and they will be here to monitor the situation and to report on the issues as and when they unfold. Tabile.
Thank you for the update, Njanji. We'll have to leave it there. That was our reporter, Njanji Chauke, giving us the latest from Vuwani. Now today,